Hello and welcome to Unit 6. So for Unit 6, we have a Blender project. So I'm going to demonstrate how to do that for you now. In our last project, we made Suzanne the monkey. We added a cone for her party hat, and then we added color. Today, we're going to add color to a block, but instead of adding color overall, each side is going to be a different color. So how do we choose our color scheme? Well, Edio wants us to go into Adobe Color to pick our color scheme. So I'm just going to type in Adobe Color. It's going to take me to this website. And here on the left, we see a ton of different color schemes, all different ones. We're going to avoid the custom one, just go with some that already exist, but you can move it around. You can really play with your color schemes, pick one that suits you. You can make it light, you can make it dark. You can have quite a bit of fun with this one. I think with this project, it works best to have lots of different colors. So maybe instead of like an analogous or like a monochromatic, maybe go with a bunch of different colors. So I'm doing split complementary. You can choose whichever one you want. I think Edio has you choosing like maybe 3 or 4 different color schemes. Since it's summer school, it's an accelerated class. You guys already have a lot due in a short amount of time. We're just going to do one color scheme. So again, for summer school, you only need one color scheme. So feel free to pick whichever one that is. You can pick any one except custom. So I've picked these colors, and each side of each face of my square is going to be one of these colors. One important thing I want to point out before we hop on over to Blender is these numbers underneath. So these numbers underneath are what are called hex numbers. So these numbers are kind of universal with computers. If I were to type this number into Google, I would have that color pop up. If I were to type this number into Photoshop or Illustrator or any editing program you use on the computer, it will recognize this color. These are kind of universal colors, and those are called hex numbers. So feel free to pick whatever color scheme you like, play around with it, and then we're going to hop on over into Blender. Okay, actually, one thing before we move to Blender, I'm just going to take a screenshot of this. You can upload your screenshot directly into Edio if you like. I'm just going to keep it into a Word document now for safekeeping. For screenshotting, I like to do Windows Shift S. That is my preferred way to so again, you can just put that directly into Edio if you like. I'm just going to keep it in a Word document for safekeeping. Okay, so I've got my color scheme. I've got a screenshot of my color scheme. Let's go into Blender. So if you want a different shape, you can do that. I won't demo it just because I don't want to confuse anyone, but I'm just going to work directly with this cube. So quick refresher, we won't go too deep into it because I know this is a lot of information, but make sure that it is selected. You can use this little cursor. Click on it and you know it'll be selected because it's got this orange outline around it. Also, if you want to rotate it so you can see the sides better, you can click this rotate button, grab either the blue, green, or red axes and kind of move it around. You can also scroll in by using this scroll button. Oh, and the shortcut for rotate is just R. So feel free to play around to see the sides of your cube better. I just wanted to quickly remind you about that because as we're adding colors, you might need to rotate your cube to make sure you can get all your colors in. Okay, I have low battery, but I should have enough to get us through. We can do it. Okay, so to add our colors, oops, I'm still in rotate. I'm just going to go back to my default select box. And next, I'm going to add some color. So adding color is very similar to how we added color to the monkey. We've just got a couple more steps. The first thing I want to do is I want to switch over to edit mode. So right now I'm in object mode. You can see my mouse kind of circling this toolbar. You can see it goes object mode, view, select, add, and object. I'm going to go to object mode and scroll down to edit mode. Once I've done that, I can see my cube is kind of this glowing orange color. It looks like it's got an orange overcast over it. And now I know I'm in edit mode. You get some more options which are fun to play around with. You can do those on your own time, but let's just focus on the project now. So you can see my mouse circling up here on these three icons. This first one is select mode. We want to be on the last one, which is face select. This is the tool that's going to let us isolate each face of your object. So I could select this, this, or this. Pretty cool. So that's how we select the faces of our different objects. Let's go back to adding color. So to view our color, first of all, we need to make sure we're in the right mode. Sorry, I know there's so many toolboxes, so really feel free to go back, stop, rewind, whichever in this video. But I'm going to this toolbox. This was the first step of adding color. This toolbox has these 4 little circles. The first one is the outline mode. You can see the outline. The next is what we're in right now. And then these last 2 are the modes that let you see color. So if you're not in the correct mode and adding color, you won't be able to see it. Last time, I think we were in the 3rd to last mode. That works. The last mode is the rendering mode. My computer's being a little bit glitchy. I hope that does not affect this recording. Okay, so I'm going to make sure I'm in these last 2. This one works fine. So does this one. That last one is our rendering model. Okay, so to add our colors, we're going to go down into this one just like before. First, we go to this toolbar, then we go to this toolbar. Whoops. Okay, so this toolbar has a tiny little picture of a circle. It matches up here. So that's what we want. So if we were to add color all over, we would just go to base color, pick our color, and we would have it chosen that way. But since we are going to color different sides, I'm going to have a different material for each different side. So I'm going to click this plus button, select new, and there's a new material. Let's see, I'm gonna hop back over. It looks like I've got 5 colors, so I'm gonna add 5 different materials. So add, new, now I've got 3 different materials. Again, I'm gonna go to this plus sign, new. I've got 4 materials. I need one more. So I'm just going to click this plus sign, select new. And now I've got 5 different materials. That is 5 different colors for 5 different sides. So I'm going to go to this first material. I'm going to assign a color to it. To assign a color, it's essentially like how we just added the overall color last time. I'm going to base, and you can select any color you like, except I'm going to plug in this number that goes along with our color scheme. So I'm just going to hop back into Blender, go to base color, hex, and copy paste in that number. Okay, so it ended up coloring our entire cube. That's okay for now. We'll start to fill in the rest of the faces, so it's okay that that's colored in. But what's really important is we can see this color where it says material has changed. That's what we really want. For material 2, I'm just going to click on that, go back into Adobe Color. I'm going to copy the second color, and I'm going to make my second material this one. So again, I'm going to base color, make sure I'm selecting hex, and then oops, copy paste my color. I just hit enter. My goodness, it's not wanting to enter. Make sure I have it correct. Copy. Oh, there we go. It was just taking a while, but I can tell that it worked. My base color is this color. This little icon by material is selected, so I know that's good. So I'm going to go to my third material. Again, I'm just going to go to the hex number under Adobe Color, copy, click on base color, make sure I'm under hex, and paste, hit enter. And I can see that that base color is now that purple color, same with that little icon. And I'm just doing this with every single color. I like to make sure all my colors are in a row, so when I start clicking on the sides, they already have their colors. So I'm going to click on base color, make sure I'm on hex, and paste. For paste, I just use Control V. For copy, I use Control C, so that's my shortcut. And we know that's selected. We have that green down here. We have that here. And then our last color, I think this might be my favorite color. I'm going to copy, go to base color, go to hex, and paste, enter. And I know that that's selected. So I know that all the colors that are in here are now in Blender because I can see each material has their corresponding color. Now I'm going to start adding these colors to my square. We know this automatically turned it red because that's just what it did, but let's isolate some faces. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to click on the color we like. So I'm going to click on material. This second one, I want it yellow. I'm going to hit select. I'm going to click on whichever face I want it to be colored. So even if it was still selected all orange, that's okay. Just select which face you want to add color to. I'm going to make sure that I'm on the color that I want it, and then I'm just going to hit assign. And there we see that color is now on that only that face. So if you missed it the first time, I'm going to go through it again. I'm going to click on my third color. I'm going to hit select. Again, you can see where my mouse is hovering. I can hit select, whichever face you want. And then I'm going to make sure just again that I'm on that correct color that I want and hit assign. And there we go. So far, I have all the colors on. I could rotate my cube by again, making sure I'm selected. Oops, going to, actually, I think I have to go to object mode. Yes. So when I'm in edit mode, I'm only clicking on these faces. If you try and rotate it while you're selecting one of these faces, it can get kind of wonky. So make sure you go back to object mode before you rotate. Now we can see these colors need something added. So I'm going to do that the exact same way. I need to go back to edit mode and add my green. Going to select whichever side I want. Make sure I'm on green and assign. Do the same thing on my last color. I'm going to select. Make sure I'm on my color and assign. So I'm going to show you what happens if you try and rotate when you're not in object mode. And it just kind of makes your shape kind of wonky, which is kind of fun, but we don't need to do that. So I'm going to undo that, go back to object mode. And now I can rotate this. Pretty cool. So obviously for this project, you are taking a screenshot. So you cannot have all the colors in. You can take multiple screenshots if you want, or you can just take one still. It's up to you. But to take a screenshot again, I like to do Windows Shift S. If you use a different way, that's up to you. So I'm just going to keep this for safe storage in my Word document, but you could put it in directly into Edio if you like. Again, make sure you're in object mode before you rotate it. Otherwise, you'll get a really crazy, ridiculous looking shape. Even rotate it around and then take a screenshot. Okay, so that is how you add color to each side. I know that Edio, or not Edio, I know that Blender is a little bit confusing sometimes. I know that there's a lot of clicks. You need to make sure you're selected on the right thing. So really feel free to go back, pause, rewatch. And as always, I'm always available to help you. Reach out if you need anything.